Let's put the mic on so you can hear me. All right. Hello, my friends. It has been such a long time. If you're new here, my name is Laura. I have shared lock content since August of 2019 when I began my lock journey. I self-maintain my locks. I have approximately 154 to 156 locks, and I started them with 2-strand twists. So that takes care of all the logistic pieces, but thanks for being here. I thought this might be a really good time for me to just catch up and see what's going on as I retie my hair. I've been avoiding retying my hair for the longest, or should I say interlocking? I don't know. If you've been here long enough by now, you know that I interchange the two. So if you come from the hair world, please forgive that. But so for the last few weeks, I've been dreading interlocking or retying my hair. But then funny enough, tonight, it's about 9 p.m. I finished everything I needed to do for the day, and I decided, let me just have a self-care moment. So I have some tea here with me. I have my ring light over here. I'm gonna watch myself retighten my hair and just kind of talk through some updates and also talk through some things that I'm learning. It's been a while since we've talked about locks, and I feel like I have quite a bit to say. I've always said that I don't come here and I don't share content or talk about things unless I think that it's necessary. But this intro is getting quite long, so I wanted to dive into things as I show you. So today I'm retightening my locks. What my maintenance has looked like so far is I've just been doing the perimeter. See, now I'm saying retightening. I've been interlocking the perimeter. Let me just use consistent language throughout. I think that'll be easier. I've been interlocking the perimeter just to give a cleaner appearance. I've had a few events that I've had to go to. The last time I fully interlocked my whole head had to have been maybe, I don't know, was it 2 months ago? YouTube might tell me, because I think I might have posted a video around that time, but ready to do the full thing. And it's funny that something that I once was frustrated with and I didn't want to do is now like a self-care thing. So let's normalize hair care being self-care. I don't know if I'm going to talk through the whole video or if this will turn into a voiceover, but that's the case. So as you can see, locks have grown quite a bit. In all honesty, I'm really shocked. Not because I didn't think that my hair could grow, but I'm shocked at how quickly it's growing. And if I tell you a simple hair routine is going to do the job, I don't know how many times I can shout it from the rooftops. Just leave your hair alone, let it be, moisturize it so it's not breaking and retaining length, clean it, and your hair will be fine. So as usual, I will be using the Faida Naturals products. I'm using the Hydrating Rosewater Hair Mist because you don't want to interlock dry hair. You want to make sure that your hair is wet. Ideally, I like to do this once my hair is washed, like right after the wash. But I washed my hair about a week ago. So I think I should be good with that. Now, I don't recommend doing this whole perimeter thing that I do because it's hard to keep track of where you last left off and where you didn't. And of course, I forgot my crochet tool, but that's fine. So these two tools are the tools I'm going to be using. If you can see, one has a wider eye and another one has a thinner one. The reason why I do that is because my locks are not all the same size. Now, part of self-starting your lock journey includes having locks that may not be the same size. So typically I start from the back, and I'm going to show you what the back looks like. Hopefully you'll be able to see right here. So I am in need of a retightening. Some people might wait a little bit longer before they retighten their hair, which is fine. I think just do what works best for your hair. Did we agree that I was going to say interlocking? Okay, we're just gonna stick with it because it is what it is. I'm the queen of prolonging my sessions, but the reason why I need to do it right now is because the hair is starting to merge at the roots. As far as the setup goes, I mentioned that I have just a mirror over here, a tiny mirror. I'm seeing lately that people have these braiding mirrors that have like the 3 folds. Those are pretty cool, and I've considered getting one of those, but I don't know how much I care. I kind of just feel for the back and I go along with it. I really want you to get a view of what things look like. Okay, maybe you'll be able to see it that way. But some of these, if you can see this, there's a lot of new growth. Oh my gosh, there's so much to say, but I also need to do this hair. I feel like I'm already overwhelmed, y'all, because there's just so much. Let me show you this part. There is literally, if you see this part, it's so overwhelming. This is probably why they tell you don't wait too long. Do you see this? This is ridiculous right here. Maybe I should even do a before and after. Look at all that. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. I think I waited too long. Okay, so let's just turn this into a voiceover. I'm gonna talk through and then I'll be back. All right, bye. So at this very moment, I was contemplating if I wanted to continue on with the interlocking session or not. Then I decided to see how I wanted to part my hair. Now, typically I have hair binders on hand, but clearly I was not prepared. Tip number one, if you're going to interlock your hair, be prepared and have everything you need on hand. So as you can see, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna section off my hair. I usually like to work from the back and work my way up because it's just easier, especially if your hair is a little bit on the longer side. Your hair doesn't fall back and create distractions. And as I mentioned earlier, I had already interlocked the perimeter of my hair, so I had to go and get a feel for the ones that were done and the ones that hadn't been done. Again, I would not recommend if you're not committed to that process. Then I just go about interlocking my hair. This part is pretty self-explanatory, as you can see. If you'd like a detailed video, I do have one where you can see how I interlock. I use the 2-point rotation, which means I go 2 different directions, and that has worked for me. I took a break and decided to call a friend as I was interlocking just to keep myself company. It's not too hard, and as far as positioning goes, sometimes people are like, how do you do the back? Well, you just kind of do it. You figure out what works best for you. You kind of use movements that work best. So then I got closer to the front and the middle section of my head, which it appeared as though that's where a lot of the growth was happening. I mean, I wasn't surprised because I had interlocked the perimeter, as I've mentioned, for the 100th time. So over here, you can see a close-up of me just going through. Now, the reason why it becomes more complicated to interlock when you wait longer is because the new growth is longer, which means you're going to have multiple rotations. So typically I would go like 2 or 3 times, but this I was going 4 or 5, maybe even 6 in some sections. As you can see over here, I remember telling my friend that if I were to cut off my locks, I would have a teeny weeny afro. So the hair had grown, which I'm really excited about, but it's just a pain to interlock. But for some reason, these sessions are partly really frustrating and partly therapeutic. So I'll take it. Also, you can have somebody else do it for you. I'm still not at the point where I'm committed to going to get my hair done consistently, just because I kind of like doing it and I like to have control over how my hair is done. Then I'm going and misting with the Faida Naturals rose water, and I'm basically done. I'm all done. I almost gave up at some point. In all honesty, you can tell the difference between how I'm talking now versus how I talked in the beginning, because I was a little anxious. This was supposed to be a self-care moment, but when I saw how much hair I had, how much new growth, I think lesson learned, I'm not waiting long between sessions anymore. I'm gonna watch for the new growth to make sure that I'm staying on top of it. But this is it. This is where we are. These are my parts right here. And remember how this looked like earlier? It's all retightened now. All of it. And I gave myself a side part. I'm noticing that there are hairs that are growing in between my locks and I have to wrap them into my locks more so now than before. It's a bit challenging because some of them are a bit shorter, and especially when I'm using that lock tool. it's harder to get them in. If I were using a crochet tool, I think it would have been better. Something else that I'm noticing is my locks are becoming more consistent across the locks, so it's easier for it to loop through right here. There's a time when my hair was budding where it was a little bit challenging because I had thicker parts and it wouldn't quite go through, loop through the base of my lock, but now I'm getting that consistent, as you can see. Look, and this is one thing that interlocking will do. It'll give you that kind of thin appearance this way. Some people like it, some people don't like it. Some people say it looks like knots. But it's completely up to you what you like. I snipped off some ends where I did see some lint as I was going. I dyed my hair black, by the way, about 2 weeks ago, or yeah, 2 weeks ago. So, and that was mainly to cover up the lint that I just couldn't get rid of. It was so much. So now I just have to be more consistent with wearing something on my head as I sleep. So to finish things off, I'm going to take the Faida Naturals Aloe and Avocado Hair Oil. Y'all, I'm not even trying to be obsessive about this, but this is the reason why my hair is growing the way it is. Every day I'm misting with rose water mist because rose water is just really good for your hair. I mean, you can use water, you can use whatever you have on hand to hydrate, but ultimate hydration plus sealing in that hydration will lead to length retention, and that's exactly what's been going on. I mean, with locks, you could argue that your hair is going to grow when your hair is locked regardless because you're not really doing anything, you're not shedding hair, but the rate at which my hair is growing once I'm consistent with hydrating and sealing, it's like no other. Try it out. You can check out the products, FaidaNaturals.com. I will link it below. Otherwise, this is it. I'm just going to quickly oil my scalp. That's all I have. Hopefully you enjoyed this session. I will see you in the next video. Otherwise, thanks for watching and subscribe to this channel. If you're interested in more lock content, give this video a thumbs up. If you found it entertaining, useful, helpful in any kind of way. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Take care.